Hi, I'm Gary from organicweb.com.au and I'm a Mailchimp partner specializing in Mailchimp training and consulting. I recently created a video about how we can use Zapier to capitalize the first name field in Mailchimp. I had quite a few questions surrounding that video, with a lot of them being how can people use Zapier even more to help their marketing, their Mailchimp marketing. So in this video, what I'm going to go through is how we can connect up Google Sheets with Mailchimp so that when we add a row, for example, or update details in our Google Sheets, those changes are automatically reflected in our Mailchimp audience. So let's go across to Mailchimp itself. I'm in Mailchimp and I'm in my audience, as you can see. This is just a demo audience and I have a few people here, first names and so on. So just to reiterate, what I'm wanting to do is I want to create a Google Sheet. And when I update details in the Google Sheets, such as update some existing information or add more rows of data, I want those people, those contacts automatically added or updated in my Mailchimp audience. And that is really simple with Zapier. So let's go across to my Google Sheet itself. It's just an empty sheet for now. I can call it anything I want to. Let's just call this subscribers. It's up to you, right, what you call it. You can call it anything you want. You can add fields of data into here. In this case, I'll add headings. You don't even have to add headings. I'll just call this email. I'll call this one, let's call it first name, just first, and let's call this last, just for our own reference purposes. Now we can add as many people below as we want to. So let me just add one person. I'll just add Gary +1 at organicweb.com.au. And just to go back to Mailchimp and show you that that person isn't there, so Gary +1 at organicweb. I've got Gary +2, okay, but not Gary +1, just to show you. Okay, so let's just widen these columns a little bit. I can add a first name if I want to. I don't have to. The only mandatory field is the email address. Okay, and I'll just put an E for the last name, just as an example. Okay, and I can fill in more details if I want to. And of course, Google Sheets automatically updates. Right, so I've got my audience in Mailchimp. I've got my Google Sheets. What I now want to do is create a Zap. So I'm going into Zapier. I've logged into Zapier. And a Zap in Zapier is an action, such as look at this, if it's updated, take that information and pass it to something else. So let's create a Zap. So I'm going to click Create Zap. So when this happens, let's choose our event. We could type in Sheets here, but you'll notice that Google Sheets is already there because we want this to look at Sheets, and when there's an update or a new row, take that information and pass it to Mailchimp. So I'm going to click Google Sheets. So when there's a new spreadsheet row or a new or updated, okay, I'm going to select new or updated. The wording's evident. Obviously the new is only when there's a new row, but this will be even if we update the details, such as change the first name for an existing email address and so on, it'll update Mailchimp. So I'm going to click New or Updated Spreadsheet Row, and I'm going to click Continue. I need to select my Google Sheets account. I've added it, but if you haven't, you can click Add a New Account and just log into Google Sheets that way. But I'll click my account, click Continue. Okay, so which spreadsheet do I need to look at? So just going across to Google Sheets, I called this subscribers, but it could be anything that you called it. So I'll just click on the spreadsheet value, and as soon as it pops up, I'll click on spreadsheet. There we go. Oh, sorry, subscribers. There we go. So I clicked on subscribers, the spreadsheet called subscribers. So which worksheet? I'm just going to go back into my worksheet, and you'll notice right down at the bottom that I only have one sheet, but I do have the option to select if I have more than one sheet, which sheet to select. So in this case, I'll just click on worksheet, and I only have one. So I'll click on that, click Continue. Wait for this to load up. Let's just test the trigger. So I'm clicking Test Trigger. And we can see my person there that was on my spreadsheet, Gary +1, Gary E. Okay, that's looking good. So click Continue. Now what I want to do. So when a new updated spreadsheet row in that spreadsheet in Google Sheets. What do I want to do? Well, I want to add or update to my Mailchimp audience. So I'll just type in Mailchimp as the actual app, click on Mailchimp. What do I want to do? Well, my event is I want to add or update the subscriber. So I'll click on Add Update Subscriber, click Continue. So I'm just following the prompts, nice and easy. Select my Google account, my Mailchimp account. If you hadn't connected Mailchimp in the past, you'd be able to connect it at this stage, but I'll just connect my Mailchimp account. I'm going to click Continue. Into which audience do I want to add people? So looking at Mailchimp, I want to add them to the demo audience in this case. So I'll just click the field and select my demo audience once it comes up. So I clicked on demo as my audience. You'll obviously have a different name. The email is a unique identifier. We have to match up the email address. So I'll click on subscriber email. So this is what data do we want to pass in the email address. So from Google Sheets, I want to insert the email address. So email to email, email. Nice and easy. Okay, any of these other things we can click if we want to. Just make sure that the update existing is yes, and that means that if it finds an email address that's already there, it'll update it. Look, you can set that to no if you prefer, and only new rows will then be added to Mailchimp. Or sorry, any people that are already in Mailchimp won't be updated from Google Sheets itself. You can choose groups if you want to. You can add tags if you really want to. The first name, let's match up the first name. I have got it in my Google Sheet. So I'm going to click on the first name and just select first name. So first name to first name. Couldn't be easier. Last name, I'm going to click it and select the last name field from Google Sheets to the Mailchimp last name field. Nice and easy. Address, if I had it, I could do it. The phone number, if I had it, and so on. Okay, you don't have to fill these, but it's whatever information you want from Google Sheets to come across to Mailchimp. And I'll click Continue. Check that everything's okay. Okay, it's going to the audience called Demo. That's an example subscriber email. Update existing. In this case, I do want it. The last name's there. The first name's there. Going down to the bottom. Yeah, all looking good. So let's click Test and Continue. And I'll turn on the Zap. So there we go, so it's now live and it runs in the background. So every time now I add a person to my sheet, they'll be added to my Mailchimp audience. So let's just refresh my audience there. And you'll see that already that person has come through. It wasn't there before. And Zapier's automatically gone and brought through that person or that email address and the corresponding information, and you can see in the source column that was brought through from Zapier. So this now just runs in the background. I can amend information. Even if you delete the information here, it will not be deleted from Mailchimp itself. It only adds or updates. So what you might want to do, and what a lot of my clients do anyway, is they just keep adding people either into this spreadsheet and people are automatically added into Mailchimp itself, or they delete what's already there and just add new information in. Just make sure that your columns are the same and you just leave your Zapier Zap running. Just leave it running, and as soon as Zapier, and on the free account in Zapier, it runs every 15 minutes. If you have a paid account, it's much more frequently. But let's presume you have a free account. It'll check every 15 minutes and run and say, okay, has any information changed, or is there a new row in my spreadsheet? Okay, add or update, whatever the case might be, into Mailchimp. And that's how incredibly simple it is to connect Google Sheets with Mailchimp to update your audience. And it really is a set and forget solution using Zapier. Please like this video, or please subscribe to my channel. I'd very much appreciate it. And yeah, I'm Gary from organicweb.com.au.